Donovan Goliath.
Sir.
I'm with this morning in Durban, South Africa, the Indaba Travel Trade Exhibition. You just hosted a series of speed marketing, basically marketers here presenting their product. You yourself are an entertainer.
Correct, sir. I'm a stand-up comedian.
Based in Johannesburg.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the evolution and development of entertainment industry, so to speak, in South Africa and Johannesburg specifically.
I'll talk it from a stand-up comedy point of view, but I will filter. I'll kind of spill over into other forms of entertainment. In the last, I'd say 5 years, what we've seen. I mean, my business partners and I, we've been running comedy gigs for about 4 years now in Johannesburg. We were running 7 gigs at one point, and what we found that with stand-up comedy, people have become a lot more adventurous going out. They're not just buying tickets or going out to see the popular guy on the lineup. They're actually going just to experience stand-up comedy as a whole. So people are starting to enjoy the surprise, and it's not so much about who's on the bill. And this goes across the board. I mean, with music and with theatre as well. They're going there to watch live performances.
And it's part of the night out.
Yes, it's part of the night out. It's the people. You know, we've stopped becoming so specific now because. Geez, I mean, South Africa, we've produced, global talent, stand-up comedians, musicians, excuse me, all over the world, that I think even we have started trusting ourselves and believing in our abilities in entertainment, that, people, like I say, people are just confident now to buy a ticket and know that they are going to receive great entertainment.
Same thing with music venues and entertainment?
Same thing. There've been so many international artists now that have come down as well. I think they've realized that audiences are receptive and that they actually have markets here. I mean, just this year alone, we are in May now, and I think we've had over 15 international artists who've come down, just musicians who've come down to perform, and that's huge. That's fascinating.
Perform, Hangout Network.
Yeah, Perform, Hangout Network. Strangely enough, we had Lawrence Fishburne at our comedy club last night. We didn't even know he was coming, but he rocked up with some famous people and some important people. So he came to hang out at the club, and it's. I think we've started cementing ourselves now as we're a global.
What's the name of the club?
It's called the Goliath Comedy Club, based in Melrose Arch.
Carries your name.
Yes.
One of the things many of us outsiders trying to get a handle of, right, is what does Johannesburg has to offer the tourists?
Yeah.
Zimbabwe, safe, great, has made many strides. First, only street in the world with 2 Nobel Prize winners, all of that. Okay, fine. Soweto.
Yeah.
But talk about Johannesburg as far as entertainment, shopping, dining experience.
In terms of shopping, we've just recently opened the Mall of Africa, which is the biggest mall in Africa right now, and that's been creating mad buzz. But I like this question because I hate referring people, so any of my friends who come from overseas who come down, I like to give them an authentic Johannesburg experience, more than just the stuff that you see in any brochure. So downtown Johannesburg, number one, has really started growing. Vibey, coffee shops, just really interesting art, pop art rather, stores that are coming up, just young designers who have just, developed this confidence and skill and added European sort of flair to African products. So nothing is predictable anymore. It's you feel like you're in a little New York, so to speak, bustling, full of energy, great bars and pubs that just pop up everywhere, and you could bar hop. You could go from one bar to view a gallery just down the road. I mean, there's one of the biggest or fastest growing parts of Johannesburg right now is an area called Braamfontein. There's Braamfontein and the Maboneng precinct. Lots of accommodation coming up there, people buying out an entire block with residents moving in to stay, but also small coffee shops, small restaurants, just on the go, in and out little joints that are opening up, which are causing major, like interesting traffic around that area.
I stayed at the Four Seasons,
Yes.
which is very new.
Yes.
You know, when the Four Seasons
Yeah.
comes to your town,
Yeah.
it must mean something's happening
Yes,
good.
yes.
But nearby there is another area, something Parktown or whatever.
Parktown, yeah.
And I understand it has a lot of dining and shopping,
Yeah.
chic kind of Beverly Hills
Yep.
type experience. Tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about it.
There's Parktown, but there's also Parkhurst. Parkhurst, I think, is the go-to spot. That's where you want to be. Parkhurst is basically one long street, about 1.5 kilometers long, maybe 2 kilometers, of just restaurants. Anything you can think of. If you're into, just steaks, for example, if you're into grills, you've got that. And every single one of them is packed all the time. So this is a kind of street that you could go there any day during the week, but weekends especially, you're never going to find parking. It's best to park and just kind of walk and experience the Parkhurst. But another fact that a lot of people don't know about Johannesburg, that it is it has the biggest tree population in the world for a city. If you look at it from the top, you can't actually
Well,
see
from the Four
anything.
Seasons, I see the zoo.
Yeah.
I see just green.
Yeah, no. It's the biggest tree population or in a city in the world, which is fascinating because
Great.
when you're driving through there, you never see it, but when you get up to the Four Seasons, which is quite high up, that's when you notice it. But we've got, there's so many different areas to play in,
Last question.
Yeah.
Johannesburg has a reputation of danger.
Yeah.
Crime, criminals all over
Yeah.
the next corner. Even a few days ago when we were visiting one of the hotels in downtown, one of
Yeah.
the new properties, the sales manager's pointing out they have 300 cameras around there and so forth. Is that overblown? Is that playing to the old reputation of Johannesburg?
Yes. You know what it is? Like, you go to the States, for example. There are a lot of areas in the States that you just don't go to because
Of course.
it's dangerous. You don't go to areas that are dangerous. But you see, the thing is, the beautiful part of Johannesburg is the city, right? For me, that's always it. You want to be in the city center, but the city center is also subdivided. You got to know where you're going. You can't just go anywhere and walk around freely because
Same in London, Paris, New York, Los Angeles.
That's exactly it, And I think it's a terrible stigma, that's been attached to Johannesburg because they only ever focus on those really dangerous parts, but nobody ever looks at the really great parts.
Well, I think the reality is it's fairly recent, a lot of this transformation.
Yeah.
Freedom is only 21 years.
Exactly.
This economic development is only recent, so the news hasn't caught up with the new product.
Exactly. But I just feel like people need to be a little bit cognizant and just be wary about where you're going, You can't just walk around anywhere because if you look like a tourist and you look lost, and this has happened to me in Paris, people are always going to try and take advantage of you because that's an opportunity,
And your earlier point, a lot of stuff happening downtown, safe.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in some upscale neighborhood,
No.
Parktown or whatever,
No.
to enjoy. And so the message here I'm trying to give, and thank you so much,
Thank you.
is Johannesburg, great place to visit.
Great place.
To stay and so much more to add on to it.
Exactly.
Cradle of humanity, the freedom movement that continues, another generation or so before things settle in.
Exactly.
And your website for your comedy store?
It's www.goliathcomedyclub.com.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, sir.